started with high-yielding breeds on my farm. But after learning of their short production periods, my search began. After hours of research, I integrated heritage stock into my farm. In doing so, I realized countless breeds sacrifice longevity for higher production. Commercial breeds are great for their rapid growth rates, but past their processing date, issues appear. Most physically can't keep up with their growth, are unable to reproduce without artificial insemination, and become vulnerable to disease along with injuries. On the other hand, some heritage stock may not gain as quickly as their commercial counterpart, but grow vigorously without highly concentrated supplements, are able to naturally breed, and have a hardy immune system. Instead of enabling bias, farmers, judges, advisors, and FFA members should integrate heritage stock into being more accepted and mainstream. Our society needs breeds that can grow quickly and be processed in a timely manner. However, they sacrifice functionality for quick gains, leading to frequent antibiotic use, highly concentrated supplements, and producers must strictly enforce biosecurity practices to counteract a compromised immune system. These breeds suffer from a limited gene pool due to strict selective breeding. Simply put, the industry standard is to rebreed the same faulty traits.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'm just practicing for a speech.
You're great.
Thank you. Denali Bosco from the North Marion FFA. Like many of Alright, let's try this again. Denali Bosco from the North Marion FFA. Are the judges ready? Like many of my fellow FFA members, I too started with high-yielding breeds on my farm. But after learning of their short production periods, my search began. After hours of research, I integrated heritage stock into my farm. In doing so, I realized countless breeds sacrifice longevity for higher production. Commercial breeds are great for their rapid growth rates, but past their processing date, issues appear. Most physically can't keep up with their growth, are unable to reproduce without artificial insemination, and become vulnerable to disease along with injuries. On the other hand, some heritage stock may not gain as quickly as their commercial counterpart, but grow vigorously without highly concentrated feed, are able to naturally breed, and have a hardy immune system. Instead of enabling bias, farmers, judges, advisors, and FFA members should integrate heritage stock into being more accepted and mainstream. Our society needs breeds that can grow quickly and be processed in a timely manner. However, they sacrifice functionality for quick gains, leading to frequent antibiotic use, highly concentrated supplements, and producers must strictly enforce biosecurity practices to counteract a compromised immune system. These breeds suffer from a limited gene pool due to strict selective breeding, leading to a lack of natural adaptations. Simply put, the industry standard is to rebreed the same faulty traits, all for an increase in production. Now, these mainstream breeds do not fit every farm or project. That's why some, like myself, turn to heritage stock. The breeds our forefathers used, dating back to before antibiotics and artificial insemination were a requirement for the commercial upkeep. Heritage usually gets overlooked. That's where my drive to show them started. I wanted to spread awareness, giving the show ring and market some diversity. All right, let me paint you a picture. Look at me, all dolled up for my first fair. Boots, shine. Tallywhacker, tucked. Before I entered the ring, I started looking around with my horn sheep trotting by my side. The other exhibitors giggled and pointed me towards the goats. Shaking that off, I walk into the ring. The judge and I make eye contact. He sees my white-faced sheep, then automatically drops me to the back of the class. Later, That same judge who placed me in last said he did so because he's never judged a horned sheep in a market class. It was outside his comfort zone. This happens to many exhibitors regardless of the species in the ring or outside of it. Why do things need to be so black and white? How are we supposed to inspire diversity when our role models refuse to leave their comfort zones? Judges need to be educated beyond the juggernauts in the ring. Those mainstream sculptured powerhouses trade resilient genes for short-lived gain with artificial insemination, C-sections, and rejecting mothers. These breeds have grown to be the standard. This goes beyond including more diversity at farms or food fairs. The current push for a one-breed focus limits growth in species, farmers, and animal products. Instead of restricting our options, we can diversify the show ring and market, making variety the norm instead of the last place outcast. Luckily, there are already organizations with this purpose in mind. One of the major nonprofit organizations is the Livestock Conservancy. Their main message is that heritage animals represent an irreplaceable piece of Earth's biodiversity and offer incredible variety that may be needed for future farms. Robust health, mothering instincts, foraging, and the ability to thrive in a changing climate. The need for growth hormones is lowered, allowing for longer lifespan, natural reproduction, and less manipulated products. These breeds utilize the land, a natural lawnmower, fertilizer, and rototiller, making the soil richer and reducing the feed bill. Heritage is often generalized as slow growing, less efficient. However, let's not categorize so quickly. According to the Red Wattle Hog Association, red wattle pigs are known for their hardiness, foraging activity, and rapid growth rates. The sows make excellent mothers, farrowing from 7 to 12 piglets, with good quantities of milk for their larger eggs. Sadly, they're one of the top threatened hog breeds on the Conservancy priority list. Many of these hardy breeds are in danger of becoming extinct because they can't thrive in the confinement of intense farming operations. I want to inspire you to have an open mind when it comes to livestock. It's more than what you see in your chapter or county. There are breeds you never heard of, but maybe that's the one that inspires someone to start a new SAB, breeding project, or career. There are organizations offering grants, scholarships, shows, and more to help fund encounters with a variety of breeds. Back to one of the prides of my farm, my horned Dorset. Considering all the desirable attributes of the Dorset breed, they lend themselves to make excellent youth breeding projects and market land projects. My horned Dorsets are shown around the state in breeding and market classes. Speaking of showing, due to the growing interest, the Continental Dorset Club funded and hosted its first Western Regional Junior Show at our 2022 Oregon State Fair, with prizes and premiums for every youth participant. The Advantage class was created due to more crossbreeding with a registered heritage stock. This shows progress towards more genetic diversity and utilization of heritage genes. All right, last example. I've heard some counties have heritage turkeys as market animals. That can be adopted into all of Oregon. Sure, they're gonna be smaller than the traditional broad-breasted, but there's so much variety. Not only in the color, but they offer different tasting meat, more muscular bodies, a greater activity level, and traits dating back to before colonial times. Think of how cool it would be to go to a fair and show off the whole species, not just a fat Thanksgiving dinner that struggles to walk. The American Poultry Association wants to help in the advancement of poultry knowledge and education in all phases, ensuring the longevity of standard bred poultry. All right, I'll wrap this up. We need advisors, families, and organizations like FFA and 4-H to give the next generation the chance to learn about these breeds. We, families, members, and their families can integrate heritage stock into being more accepted and Members and their families can explore opportunities in hopes of preserving the variety within a species. We can increase diversity now by integrating heritage stock to benefit our future. Times are changing. We need to create a future for our world and animals that we can be proud of. Don't enable the bias surrounding heritage stock. Instead, be a part of the change. Thank you.